Let me share my screen. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are reading Canto 3, Chapter 5, Text 5. Let me recite the verse. Karoti karmani kritavataro yanyatmatantro bhagavam striyadishaha yata sasarchakre idam niriyaha samstapya vrittim jagato vidatte. One more time. Karoti karmani kritavataro yanyatmatantro bhagavam striyadishaha yata sasarchakre idam niriyaha samstapya vrittim jagato vidatte. Karoti does them, karmani transcendental activities, krita by accepting, avatara incarnations, yani all those, atmatantraha self-independent, Bhagavan the personality of Godhead, Triyadishaha the Lord of the three worlds, yatha as much as, tasarcha created, agre at first, idam this cosmic manifestation, niriyaha although desireless, samstapya by establishing, vrittim means of livelihood, jagat of the universes, vidatte as he regulates. Translation. O great sage, kindly narrate how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is independent, desireless Lord of three worlds, and the controller of all energies, accepts incarnations and creates the cosmic manifestation with perfectly arranged regulative principles for the maintenance. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead from whom the three creative incarnations, namely the Purusha avatars, Karnara Navasai Vishnu, Garbhodakasai Vishnu, and Kshirodakasai Vishnu expand. The whole material creation is conducted by the three Purushas in successive stages under the external energy of the Lord. And thus material nature is controlled by him. Thinking material nature to be independent is like seeking milk from the nipple-like bags on the neck of goat. The Lord is independent and desireless. He does not create the material world for his own satisfaction as we create our household affairs to fulfill our material desires. Actually, the material world is created for the illusory enjoyment of the conditioned soul, who have been against the transcendental service of the Lord since time immemorial. But the material universes are full in themselves. There is no scarcity for maintenance in the material world because of their poor fund of knowledge. The materialists are disturbed when there is an apparent increase of population on the earth. Whenever there is a living being on the earth, however, his subsistence is immediately arranged by the Lord. The other species of living entities who far outnumber human society are never disturbed for maintenance. They are never seen dying of starvation. It is only human society that is disturbed about the food situation and to cover up the real fact of administrative mismanagement. Take shelter in the plea that the population is excessively increasing. If there is any scarcity in the world, it is the scarcity of God consciousness. Otherwise, by the grace of Lord, there is no scarcity of anything. Om Ajnanaatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitanena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shiyuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha, Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta, Namostute, Tapta Kanchana, Gaurangi, Radhe Runda, Vaneshwari, Rishabhano, Stute Devi, Pranamami, Haripriyam, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna devotees, please welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam class. I seek blessing from Guru Maharaj, Krishna, and all assembled devotees, so that I can speak something meaningful. So in 355, the discussion between Vidura and Maitreya Muni is going on. Vidura spoke to Uddhava some time back. He directed him to Maitreya Muni, and he traveled all the way from Yamuna bank to Haridwar. It's quite a bit of distance, quite a bit of climbing hills, but Vidura still he did it because he was so anxious to hear what Supreme Lord said, right? And finally, when he sees Maitreya Muni, he asks some common questions like, everyone in this world engages in fruitive activities to attain happiness, but they don't find either happiness or mitigate their distress. So how one should live for real happiness? So like that, Vidura asked Maitreya Muni some common questions, which was not originally his intention, but he asked common question before asking his. He wanted to ask about the creation, so he asked this because for the benefit of conditioned souls. Then he comes to topic of creation, how Supreme Lord does creation, things like that. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada talks about a few points like Purusha Avatara and their roles in the material universe, and what is the real scarcity in this world. He also says there is no scarcity for maintenance in the material world. Whenever there is a living being on the earth, their subsistence is already taken care of by the Lord. Here, since this verse talks about Purusha Avatara, sometime back I was trying to understand where Purusha Avatara fit in the grand scheme of avatars, right? So I have made a chart. Let me go through that today. I'm going to talk about different incarnations of Lord. I hope you can see this chart. Let me expand a little bit. Okay. So here, if you see, Krishna is in the top. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the boss. So that's why he is here. Someone may ask, what is the proof, right? So I have few proofs. Brahma Samhita says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Anadir Adir Govindam. He is the origin of all. He has no origin, and he is the prime cause of all causes. Karana, Sarva Karana Karana, right? And there is one more verse, 1:3:28 from Bhagavatam. Ete cham kalam pumcha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Vyasadeva says, you are Bhagavan Swayam. You are the original personality of Godhead. And also, Bhagavan Parashara Muni has defined what is Bhagavan. He says, one who is full in six opulences. What are they? Who has full strength, fame, wealth, knowledge, beauty, and renunciation. Right? He is called Bhagavan. So here Vasudeva is saying that Krishna is the Bhagavan. I found one more reference in 1:9:18. Bhishma Deva says, Yudhishthira, that Esha vai Bhagavan Sakshat Adayo Narayana Puman, meaning Krishna is Sakshat Bhagavan. He is the original personality of Godhead. He is the first Narayana. That's what he is saying here. And other than all these things, Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita in 7.7, he says, Matta Parataram na anyat, kinchi dasti dhananjaya. Right? There is no truth superior to me. That's why, he's saying that I am the supreme. That's why, if you see in this chart, Krishna is in the top. From him, he expands into two different forms here. One is called Swayam Rupa, the other one is Tadekatma Rupa. Swayam Rupa Swayam means he himself, right? His own, we can say his own manifestation. And sometimes it is called Prabhava Prakasha. These expansions have multiple forms with same features. Like, we have heard a Rasa dance where Krishna dance with all the gopis, right? So there are many Krishnas. But if you see everybody, all the Krishnas, all Krishnas have the same features and same mood. And in the same way, when Narada goes to Dwarka to meet Krishna, Krishna was there with all the queens in their respective palaces at the same time, right? And that time also he has the same feature and same bodily feature and same mood. So that is called Swayam Rupa. And the other category is Tadekatma Rupa. Tadekatma Rupa, sometimes it is also called, what is that? Vaibhava Rupa. It is actually resembles like a Swayam Rupa, but there are some differences in the bodily feature and in the mood. So, for example, the expansion from Tadekatma Rupa is Balram. Krishna is his color is Neela Megha Shama, bluish in color, and Balram is fair, right? So it is also called Vaibhava Rupa, and sometimes it's also called Vaibhava Prakasha. Then, if you see Tadekatma Rupa, again there are two categories of expansions, Swamsha and Vilasa Rupa. Since we are talking about Purusha Avatara today, let's talk about Swamsha first here, and let me expand this one a little bit. Swamsha means, Swa means self, right? Here, since we are talking about Lord, he is Lord himself. Amsha means part. Swamsha means is partial manifestation of the Lord. So why Swamsha incarnation happens? Because it is for maintaining material universe. Also helps conditioned soul to go back to Godhead. This is the intention of Swamsha avatars. So under this, we see 6 types of avatars, like Leela avatar, Purusha avatar, Guna avatar, Satya Avesha avatar, Manvantara avatar, and Yuga avatar. Since we are talking about Purusha avatar in this, let's talk about that first. In Purusha avatar, he expands into 3 Vishnus, Karanodaka Sai Vishnu, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, and Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu. Karanodaka Sai Vishnu, he is one who is lying on the causal ocean. Causal ocean is actually a boundary between spiritual world and material world. It's called causal ocean because every action in this material world, there is an effect, right? That's why it is called causal ocean. When he so when he is lying on the ocean, when he exhales, unlimited universes come out from the pores of his body. So he is the creator of all the universes. So from Karnodaka Sai Vishnu, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu comes. He actually creates all the 14 planetary system. He is holding everything in the perfect order. If you see, sun is rising at the right time, moon is rising at the right time, and if you see all the seasons, it is occurring at the right time, right? It's all because of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. He has entered in this universe. And from Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu comes Brahma. He is the secondary material creator. Also, Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu also comes from Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, who actually enters every atom of each universes, and also known as super soul. Whenever we say that Paramatma he is in my heart, basically, Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu is living in everybody's heart. So these three Vishnus help in complete management of material universe. So this is about Purusha Avatara. And Leela Avatara is basically, we have heard of Rama, Narasimha, Varaha, Vamana, different incarnations, right? So they are here for particular Leela, so past tense. And the next one is Guna Avatara. Guna means material qualities, right? There are three categories. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance, Sattva Guna, Raja Guna, and Tamo Guna. Mode of goodness, which maintains the material manifestation, Vishnu is the presiding deity for that. And mode of passion, which generates the creation of material manifestation, Brahma is presiding deity. From ignorance, which actually destroys the creation, Shiva is the presiding deity. Shiva is also a devotee of Lord Krishna. He possesses more of Krishna's quality than ordinary soul, but less than Krishna or his expansion or incarnation. So that's why Shiva is in a different category. It's called Shiva Tattva. So next one is Satya Avesha Avatar. This avatar basically a living entity who are directly empowered by the Lord. There are a few examples like Narada has art of giving bhakti. Brahma, he has art of creation. Sometime Lord himself takes Satya Shakti Avesha Avatara. Like Vyasadeva is Lord himself, and I also heard that in the next cycle, Ashwatthama will be Vyasadeva. So Lord himself can come as Shakti Avesha Avatara, or empowered living entity can become this avatara. And the next one is Manvantara Avatara. Manvantara means the lifespan of Manu. Manu are rulers in the higher planetary system, and they give directions to human society through scriptures. They live 71 Divya Yugas. Divya Yuga means, one Divya Yuga consists of 4 yugas, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kali Yuga. So this Manvantara incarnation appears simultaneously with the Manus and changes as Manu change. So there are 14 Manus in one day of Brahma. Manvantara changes when Manu is changed. So one Manu is changed when 71 Divya Yuga, after 71 Divya Yugas. And Yuga Avatara is Lord descends to this material world to establish the religion of the age, right? This happens when four colors. In Satya Yuga, white, Treta Yuga, red, Dwapara Yuga is blackish, I think, and Kali Yuga, yellow. That's why if you see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is molten gold. He is yellow in color. So, Lord comes in these avatars, whatever we discussed so far, to help the conditioned soul to go back to Godhead. Basically, this Swamsha avatara happens in the material realm to help conditioned soul. So, all the avatars that we discussed so far, um, uh, that is, to help conditioned living entities in this material world. So, next, the question is, are there any incarnation in the spiritual world, right? So, but Lord has different forms in the spiritual world also. It is said that 24 main deities in the spiritual world, starting from Krishna himself. Let's see that. Um, so, okay, if you see this chart, Tadekatma Rupa comes from Krishna, who is Balram. From Balram, we saw that there are two expansions, Vilasa Rupa and the Swamsha. We discussed the Swamsha part, and now let's see Vilasa. Vilasa is basically these incarnation happens in the spiritual world. So there are 24 main deities in spiritual world. So if you see this chart, um, the first Chaturvyuha expansion comes from Vilasa Rupa. So Chaturvyuha means, Chatur means four, Vyuha means guard or arms. These forms, all 24 deities, they have four arms. They guard the four directions of material world. They reside in the spiritual world. So from in the first Chaturvyuha, there are four expansions: Vasudeva, Sankashana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. From Sankashana, from the first Chaturvyuha, again there is second expansion. It's called second Chaturvyuha. Again, from him, Vasudeva, Sankashana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha expands. And later, from these four expansions, there are further three more expansions. Three from Vasudeva, and three from Sankashana, three from Pradyumna, three from Aniruddha. So basically, when we are applying Tilak, we say these, we take out these 12 names: Keshava, Narayana, Madhava, Govinda, Vishnu, Madhusudana, Trivikrama, Vamana, Sridhara, Rishikesha, Padmanabha, Damodara. So these are 12 expansion from from Sankarsana, from the second Chaturvyuha. But after some time, there is again 8 more expansion from Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. They are, if you are looking at my chart, Adokshaja, Purushottama, Upendra, Achyuta, Narasimha, Janardana, and Hari and Krishna. I don't know why Krishna is again here. If somebody knows, you can give more details on this. So totally, we see here under second Chaturvyuha, we have 4 deities, main deities: Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, and Ruddha, 4 plus 12. We take out their names while applying Tilak. So 4 plus 12 is 16, and then further 8 more expansions. So 12 plus 8 is, 16 plus 8 is 24. So there are 24 expansions. So the question is, how do we distinguish these 24 deities? Right? All of them have 4 hand forms here, right? How do we distinguish these 24 expansions? So basically, Narayana holds Shankha, Chakra, Padma, Gada, Padma, right? what is that? Conch, Sudarshan Chakra, mace, and lotus. They are holding these in different orders. If they are held in different orders, they make 24 different orders. We know 4 factorial, right? We say 4p4. That is like 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. That is 24. So there are 24 different expansions of the Supreme Lord. Each of them have their own abode. So, spiritual world is filled with different Vaikuntha lokas. Spiritual world is 3 times bigger than material world. If you see, material world itself is unimaginable, right? There are billions of universe. Just imagine, spiritual world is 3 times bigger than this. This reference is there in Purusha Sukta. That's called Pado Asya Vishwabhutani Tripadasya Amrutam Divi. Here it says Tripada. Tripada means the spiritual word is a Tripada, three parts, right? And this material word is Ekapada, it is one part. So that comes in the Purusha Sukta. So if there are so many expansions up there, that means there are so many things are going on in the spiritual world, right? Vishwanath Chakravarti once said, if you publish newspaper on what is going on in spiritual world, then we have to print newspaper every second. So all Nitya Muktas are there in Vaikuntha Loka. There may be so many pastimes are going on every moment, right? So now we discuss so much, and after discussing so much, if you come back and refresh our memory, Bhagavad Gita 7.7, where Krishna says, Matta Parataram na anyat kanchidasti dhananjaya, Mai sarvam idam proktam, Sutre maniguna iva, right? Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread, right? So then we can imagine his position. We are so tiny and he's so unlimited. And that's what I felt after analyzing so much. Thank you, everybody. That's all I had for today. If you have any comments, definitely I would have made some mistake here. If I have made anything mistake, please correct me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
You did put a lot of effort to make the chart and then come up with a nice detailed, flow of
Yeah,
these incarnations.
I just wanted to see all the avatars in one place. How many avatars are there, and especially when Prabhupada is talking about Purusha Avatara, I just wanted to know where exactly this fit in the grand scheme of avatars.
Yes. So this arrow, the dotted arrow is going right side, right? To that
Oh,
Purusha.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, I wish to say that.
Yeah. So that is where
Basically, we talked about Swamsha, which happens in the material realm. This actually is coming from Sankarshana, from the second Chaturvyuha.
yes.
Yeah, from him everything is happening. Yeah, that's why now there is a connected dots here.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing it up, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I didn't understand the reason why that second Chaturvyuha comes. I mean, I was trying to read that when I was earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know if you found anything. So from the
No, Prabhu. Actually, I tried to find out, but somehow there are many questions for me here. Probably we need to ask, Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, right?
I think I found Prabhu, Balram Prasad Prabhu, I think. Thank you very much for the detailed explanation. It's mine. Yeah, I think it's Balram Prasad Prabhu only.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I have a comment. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, nice effort trying to put the unlimited in a limited chart and showing us. There was one thing that you said. I'm trying to reconcile that. Now, you said that the 14 planetary systems are created by the Lord, whereas when you go down in the third canto, I forget which chapter test, maybe 7th or 8th, Brahma actually, he originates from the abdomen, through the lotus, and then, he actually glances all over. He cannot see anything. He goes down, he doesn't see anything. Then he comes back. Then he does, 1,000-year celestial tapas. After that, he's given the knowledge and the light, and he can see everything. And only after that, it is explained that he actually divides it into 3 parts, and then he further creates the 14 planetary systems. So in view of that, I'm trying to understand, was it the Lord who really created this, or was it the secondary creator, like it is Svarga, Sarga and Visarga, So I thought this was part of Visarga, whereas you said it is part of Sarga. So I was a little confused. Help me understand.
Yeah. So my understanding in this here is Lord actually created all the ingredients. Okay. And then Brahma comes and assembles everything. So that's why Brahma is called secondary incarnation. Sorry, what is that? Secondary creator. Okay. It's like we are. I mean, I can cook anything as long as there are ingredients, right? If there are no ingredients, how can I cook? Right. So when Brahma he did the 1,000 celestial years of tapasya. After that, he created everything, but the ingredients were already there. Right. That's why here it is said all the 3 Vishnus are actually doing creation, maintenance, and destruction. Right. He has everything, but then Brahma he comes and he creates everything. Shiva, he comes and he destroys. That's my understanding, Prabhu.
Yeah, my
I think
question was about the 14 planetary systems, Prabhuji. So that's okay, Prabhuji.
yeah, we can. I mean, I think Balram Prasad Prabhu is here. Prabhu, you want to share some light on this?
I am not that familiar. I heard, but this is all. It's tough for me to understand. But yes, purport has to make us understand. If I don't know, then I should not say anything much.
Thank you.
You have. I think you have studied a lot. Looks like it's in detail. So I haven't gone through in detail, but it's a nice explanation.
Thank you, Prabhu. Radha Kunja Bihari Prabhu, you can hold on to your question. You can ask somebody, and
No
we
problem,
can
Prabhu.
try to understand. Okay. Anything else? Any other comments or corrections?
It's a lot of homework. I think you're done. Preparation is looks like a lot, Prabhu. I think I don't know how many books or recordings you heard. It's a good explanation for all of us. Especially when you said all our mantras for the tilak. That means how many all these Chaturvyuhas and not Chaturvyuha. That's basically the expansions of expansions. So we may not understand. We'll just chant, but it is we need to understand what from Krishna to Balaram, and Balaram to Sankarshana to what, and how they're all expanded. It's even though it is there, maybe tomorrow in another half an hour or 1 hour, I'll forget again. We'll forget again.
True.
So that's in that way. If there is actually more mantras for that. If you do a full Achaman, it's still more mantras, right? If you look at it, Keshvayanam, Narayan, Madhavan, Mugundam, all the way to the Vasudeva, and then Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Anuruddha, Purushottama, and then Narasimha. What is that? It has to come in sequence. Otherwise, for Hare, then Achyuta, Janardana, Upendra, they all come in place. So in that way, it's still more to understand.
I think basically we take out all 24 deities, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, if there are no more comments, then we can close here. Okay, vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo Namaः. Hare Krishna devotees.